Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gerald Jones, and first and foremost, I would like to thank you for tuning in to another installment of Gerald's Modern Philosophy. I appreciate your time, I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate your energy. And once again, I thank you for listening. Today's installment is going to be discussing polygamy. Now, I've had a few discussions during this week. That's what brought up upon this idea of talking about polygamy or this installment is because there's been a lot of talk about not only in Black America, but in America, period, the need or the want or the desire or the fact that this polygamy relationships and families exist. Now, first of all, I'm going to read the definition of the polygamy, and I'm going to tell you the difference between the male and the female version of polygamy. And today I'm going to be specific, and I'm going to get into the views and belief and customs of male polygamy. And first, I want to just touch on the word polygamy. First of all, so it won't be taboo. I'm not necessarily speaking of the polygamy or the polygamy that's popularized by the Mormons. I'm talking about, we don't have to use the word polygamy, but for lack of a better word, that's what we're going to use. But for the most part, I'm speaking of males having more than one wife or more women in the household. And not only is this occurring, it may not necessarily be occurring in a household, but there's men who have several children by different mothers and baby mamas, as you will, or as you may call them. And they're having these families, and they're having these extended families, and they're having these 2-home families, 3-home family in some cases. And this is also an outstretch or an extension of polygamy, only not in the home. So what I'm going to do now is read the definition of polygamy, and then I'm going to get into my installment as far as the male version, and maybe next time I'll get into the female version of polygamy as well. The definition of polygamy I described in Merriam-Webster is a marriage in which a spouse of either sex may have more than one mate and at the same time. Now, the male version of this is called a polygyny, and the woman is a polyandry. Now, we're going to talk about the polygyny, which is the male's version, which is the male having more than one wife. Now, as I said before, this is occurring regardless if you accept it, regardless if you want it to occur. Even those who may be listeners and may be males or females and have this situation going on, I'm going to touch on why it's more important to maybe seek out or see if this may be something that you want to do to not benefit just yourself, but to benefit the outcome of your children, to benefit the whole family as a union. Now, first and foremost, I want to speak about the fact that the racial, and I posted, and I also want to get anyone who may have questions or want to discuss anything, I can be contacted on Facebook at King Gerald Jones /Facebook, and I'm open to answer any questions and have any discussions that you may have. Now, as I was saying before, I posted during the last week, I posted a post which stated that at the very minimum, at the bare minimum, that the ratio of women to men is off balance, and it's and the women, and we're going to say at the bare minimum, there's 3 to 1 women, 3 women to every 1 man. So my question would be to any person who is against polygamy or against the research or finding out, is this a good aspect that you can have in your family, or a good way you can go about having your family benefit, is if that's the case, if this is a fact, which is very much more, but I'm saying at the bare minimum, if the ratio of women is 3 and to every 1 man, I ask you, who's not supposed to have a husband, or who's not supposed to have a man? Not to mention the male testosterone or the male aggressiveness, which leads the number to become bigger, because there's more men in prison systems because of aggressiveness, because of testosterone. And I'm not going to get further into that, but there's more men also being killed, murdered, or dying because of testosterone and a man-on-male violence, which is totally natural. But like I said, I'm not going to touch on that right now because that's a different topic. But just for those simple reasons alone, the ratio goes higher. So let's say we lose 1 male, that means that next male may have 6 women, and the statistics are climbing. The statistics are staggering, and that's why I ask, which women are not supposed to have a man or a husband, because This is undeniable. This is unrefutable evidence and unrefutable facts. And the thing is, it's happening every day. Like I said before, whether you're experiencing that in yourself where you have another baby daddy and you may be in a relationship, or you might be a male with several baby mamas, this is happening. Not to speak about if you're having sex, or that's a whole topic altogether, but this reality is happening. You're dealing with two households and you're dealing with two families. Now, I know this might be controversial, but it's very relevant. And as far as the male is concerned, with the polygyny, I see total benefit in one man having, let's say, 3 or several women, because not only is the man going to benefit mentally, he's going to benefit financially, and he's going to benefit sexually, which is physically. And not, once again, he's not only benefiting, but the family is benefiting. The women are benefiting. For example, let's say financially, let's say we have 3 women and we have 1 man, and they're all working to become a unit and it's going to be more money there. That's hands down. Financially, it's going to be a benefit. And we're not going to speak about the physically, because that's hands down. We know what that goes into as far as physically, sexually. We know what that goes. So that's a no-brainer. And also mentally, it's going to be more stimulation, not just for the man, but there's going to be more stimulation in learning from a woman to a woman, and a man to a woman, and so on and so forth. So it's just going to create, but there has to be complete honesty, and there has to be this complete understanding between the women and the man and the king. Now, also speaking on the physical part, like I said, it's hands down a no-brainer. Of course, people are stimulated with the physical, but even, and I hate to be blunt, but I have to speak about it, even during a woman's menstrual cycle, when is that man not, let's say if there's a one-on-one relationship, during a woman's menstrual cycle, is that man not supposed to have sex? No, he's not. That's why it's designed also by nature, and it's going to be a whole topic as far as where it came from, where it started, even before the religious, even dealing with nature. Even if you look at the animal kingdom, and we are animals, in fact, you may want to do your research on that and find out if we're animals and what kind of animals we are, if we're mammals, and so on and so forth. That's for you to do your research on your own. Or you can question me on Facebook. Now, the things have changed as far as from nature, where the currency is now monetary, where back in the day, the currency used to be strength. So now you have to deal with a whole nother aspect altogether and figure out, well, if we're coming together financially, we all can win in this situation. As I said before, if you have several baby mamas or children by different women, and you already have to deal with the burden of, I don't know if you're on child support, but you have to deal with the burden of taking care of those kids, and you guys have to combine together. Now, this goes off into the honesty part. Now, as a man, I can't speak on a specific man, but I know from what I've seen and what I've researched and what I've been through, these men are still sleeping not only with the woman that they're with or living with, but they're also still sleeping with the baby mamas. So why not bring it together? Why not put it together? It's pure logic. It's pure understanding. Because now, like I said, the currency is now financial. So if we put our money together, he's working, the mothers are working, instead of being at fault or being at odds, you guys can put the money together, and then it's a financial win all across the board. And that's all I'm saying, is that this does exist. It's undeniable. No matter if you're being lied to or if you're being told the truth, these things are actually in existence, and it's going on every day on an everyday basis. Now, as I said before on prior installments, monogamy is totally unnatural for a man, and that also leads into the belief system or the understanding or the naturalness of what I'm saying as far as polygamy is concerned, why it's a total benefit and it's a total. And I'm going to tell you this, the only difference between polygamy, the only difference between open relationships and cheating is the honesty within, is the honesty within the structure, is the honesty. And it's, in my opinion, my research and my knowledge, it starts with the man, because he's the leader. So he has to stress and he has to convey that there has to be complete honesty, not just between him and the one woman, but there has to be complete honesty between him, all the women, and the women from women. Now, I know this is going to be difficult because we have been brainwashed, and we in modern society has taught us that this is unacceptable. The belief, the cultural belief of modern society now teaches us one woman, one man. But That's why you see so many dysfunctional relationships. That's why you see so many cheating, so much cheating going on, is because it's totally unnatural. And one of my beliefs and one of my customs is that you cannot beat nature, no matter how hard you try. And also, there's no right and wrong, but there's only balance and unbalance. And this is creating a bad unbalance, because you have these women and you have these men who are lying to each other and create these dysfunctional and unbalanced households. You have these children that are being raised without a father, and you have, in some cases, these households where the children are being raised without the mother or without their biological parents. The other day, I was having a great conversation, great stimulating conversation with a great friend, a great female friend of mine. And the statement she made while we were having lunch was that any woman who works a 9 to 5, and she also stressed and expressed not just a 9 to 5 where you're working and sitting down, but a 9 to 5 where it takes your energy and it takes thinking and it takes a little bit of wisdom or knowledge to run your 9 to 5 or to accomplish your job. She said any woman who has that, a 9 to 5, who has children already, it would be difficult for her to truly and fully take care of a man. And I thought about that because although I believe what I believe, it was the first time that I've ever heard it put like that. And I totally and completely agree with it, because I challenge my listeners that if you, and you don't have to answer me, but I challenge you as women, if you do have this kind of job, let's say you're someone who has to work not just in your 9 to 5, but when you take work home, and then you have children, you're not going to fully be able to take care of the man how he needs to be taken care of. And that's a reality, and that's a fact. And she also expressed that's where, polygamy or more than one wife will come in. And it made complete sense. And that's kind of what structured me to make my post, and also to share what I'm sharing with you on this recording as we as I'm discussing right now. Now, given a brief background, I'm going to tell you how the one-on-one relationship, according to history and according to nature, how it was created. And even before I get into that, I'm also tell you to look again at the animal kingdom. And I want to state this fact. I want to state that out of the male species, which is, the mammal species, there are only 2 animals that operate out of lifetime of monogamy. And I might have shared this before on a different installment, but I'm going to share it again. The whale and the bird are the only 2 animals that operate out of lifetime of monogamy. Now, the catch about that is this, and hence the phrase bird brain again. Those animals, those mammals, which we're mammals as well, those mammals have small size brain. As far as the bird, that's why he hence the phrase bird brain once again. And you also have a whale. Now, the whale, he had the same size, a larger brain, of course, than a bird, but he has a bigger body to control. So his brain and likeness as well is small as well. So my thing would be this. Why would us as the intelligent species, or the higher of mammals, why would we want to operate out of the logic of a bird brain? Or why would we want to operate out of the logic of a small brain, or a brain that isn't fully capable? So, as I said before, I'm going to get into how the one-on-one relationship thing started. Now, I'm not going to get into the religion aspects into it yet, but I'm going to get into like I said, the man-on-man really. Now, as mass society, when the people were creating the rules in the back in the day, when they were creating the rules and they were creating structure and they was creating civilization, like I said, strength was currency. So the people who were stronger and the people who were dominant were getting more than one woman. Because this was by nature. They saw the animals do it, and that's what they mimicked themselves after, because they were learning from the animals. So they would have more than one wife. They would have more than one woman. But what do you think happened to those who didn't have a woman or didn't have more the things that they wanted? They become disgruntled. So what they do, and it's unfortunately tables turn, where they became empowered. They became empowered where they were able to create rules, and they were put in power where they were able to damn things or destroy things that were already in existence. So let's say a weaker person is put in power and he wasn't getting what he thought he was supposed to get as far as having 3 women. So what he would do, what he did as the laws were created, was create not, and this also goes into the currency thing. Not only did he create the strength was no longer, because even if you look at the animal kingdom, if you have 2 lions, the 2 lions will fight And the stronger will be the victor, and he will win the woman, or he will be able to have sex and create offspring with the woman. And the loser would get nothing. So once again, the tables flip, where that loser become put in power because there were majority losers. There was more losers, and that goes off into hate and some other stuff. But the majority, so they created this civilization where they said, well, everybody should get one woman. And this is also a form of communism, but that's another topic again. Everybody gets one woman. And these stronger people, or these stronger men who were getting more than one woman, we're going to create, strength is not going to be the currency anymore. We're going to create money. It's going to be monetary. So anybody can get it. Anybody, we can even out the playing fields, which in hindsight, it may seem logical. In hindsight, it may seem like the good thing to do, but it's throwing a balance, and it's creating an off balance. And it creates the, oh, I'm sorry, that's my time. The light went off. I wish I can continue. But question me on Facebook. Again, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking out your time to listen to anything that I said, because it's fully appreciated. I thank you for your energy. I look forward to your feedbacks. I look forward to speaking to anybody who wants to talk about it. You guys have a beautiful day, and thanks for listening again. Thank you. Bye.